Quick video, guys. This is just for some quick content because we need some. It's that time of the year. We just got done with an event, so I'm going to show you guys my deck for both teams and what I ran. So this is my Nationals deck. I just tweaked it up a little bit. So you guys see I ran Soul Striker. Before I do this, big shout out to PPG, Genuine Collectibles, and also Team FOE. If you guys don't follow me, I run our Whatnot store. These guys make it possible. Ginger Fusion LLC on there. Cool promotion I'll be including on my Facebook, like how to apply for the app. If you click that link and you're one of the first bids that you buy on my thing, it'll give you $10. Most importantly, I'll also send you a free pre-release pack with your order. So you can't get better than free and an extra thing. But that's it for shout outs. If you're part of my Whatnot crew and you're watching this, this is a cool video if you want to make a deck. It'll also be on Team FOE, so it'll be cross-listed here. So this is it. Without further ado, we're playing Soul Striker. Reason why we're playing Soul Striker, he is the most busted leader. Soul Striker has two effects that makes him so ridiculously good. The first is, of course, his main side. He draws a card on the main side, always important because you may not awaken on time. But then also, he can alternatively awaken once he plays a unison on 3. This is relevant because we can keep our life super high against aggro, and then awaken still as a 15k, so then we can afford to make them combo to force us to finally take life, which is the goal, and frequently happened. I lost in top 8th. I got crushed by Justin Rios in game 1. Game 2, I played it fast and loose, and as a result, I won. I went kind of crazy and ham and took all my life to 1. Tried the same strategy in 3, and he beat the crap out of me. For teams, we won. Thank you guys for playing on the PPG team. We took it down. Me and Juan had to play without our third player because Gino Carlo was commenting. So both him and me had to win both of our games because we already had a loser. Since obviously you forfeit if you don't have a person. But this is roughly the same list. There's a minor change I want to tell about. So you'll see here my side deck, it says I'm not running Majin Buu. The numbers are just slightly off. There should be a Majin Buu main, and then we weren't running Mechabora main. So then that gave us a spot, and I ran another card, the Fighting Against Fate main, and we'll talk about why right now. So you always run one Turning the Tide. I'm pretty sure I beat somebody because I was running it. I think they were Icarus player. It just wins the game. You play it on turn 7, and pretty much your opponent can't do anything about it game 1. So frequently, if you're going slow, it's how you win. Fu is, of course, the alternate win condition. If your opponent's not blue and they're not a Frieza, for the most part, no one can interact with Fu. I expect him to get hit on the ban list, so I wouldn't buy any for expensive SBRs. But it's dodged so many lists, for all I know, it's going to dodge again. You'll also see other singletons. We run a single Champa. This is the most common thing I sideboard out. So I think this was a mistake to even run it, because you don't need to do it, but people are afraid of it. So maybe it's the right call. The primary unison is, of course, Gogeta. The reason why is people like silver bullets. The silver bullets prevent you from untapping. We don't want to fall for that trap. So it's built-in removal, and it's a dual attack 20k. He also has an ability where every time you own a Saiyan and it's in rest mode, you can't take damage. This is super relevant because all of our major characters are Saiyans. So basically, we don't take damage. We have a baby main ×2. This is just an alternative awaken. 99% of the time, you just charge that baby. That means we ran a crazy 7 unisons, and frequently I had bad hands because of it. So keep that in mind that if you have multiple unisons, you've got to charge them. And you got to charge them quickly. So you can't be like, I might want to draw this one. If you've got 2, charge 1. You can't keep them. Some other cards that were relevant. Of course, Trunks God Sealing is a 4 of in this deck. It goes with any blue leader. It's ridiculous. This card lets me win a lot of the yellow matchups if I get ahead. The reasoning being is you can't play your Turles if I have a unison in play because I'll just bounce to your hand for 2. So if we're low on energy, this can let me kind of cheat resources. So it's very, very powerful for the deflect if you don't have deflect. Of course, Baby Hatch, if you guys were watching my Gogeta matchup, this card lets you set up traps. You can get yourself to 1 when your opponent tries to do big attacks, taps all their energy, and goes for that killing blow. You can then Baby Hatch and be like, your turn's done. And now you have all of the cards in your hand, which is what I did against Dylan, who eventually did win the event. So I just would have had to have played him in top cut, and maybe I could have won. Baby Golden Avenger is a 2 of. If you're a better player than I am, He's probably pretty good. I'm not a very good player when it comes to control matchups, so I do a poor job of using him. If he cost 4, he'd be way better, but the fact that he's 5, it's just hard to do. I'm not going to lie. I did get to use this against Rios to win a game. What I did was I purposely kept 5 up, and then I baby hatched, and then when he went to counter it with Cooler, I played Baby Golden Avenger, countering his counter, allowing me to steal the win from one of the best players that was there. Probably the best player, no offense, Dylan, but it's Rios. All right, let's see, other stuff that's relevant. This right here is Bardock. The thing's not letting you see it. So this is a draw ape. This is also a draw ape. The reason why we run both draw apes is just we need yellow. So this lets us have multiple arrivals for the real win condition that we'll talk about in a second. And we just discard them. We just discard them early game. We just keep drawing. 90% of our game is just drawing cards. It's not a very amazing deck for doing anything else. Jonathan, I played him round like 4, I think it was, when I was undefeated. And he crushed me because he played Lord Slug and I had no way to get rid of it. So all my apes were useless. Very unfortunate for me, but good for him. Dimension Magic, I play it because I have to. I charge it all the time. I hate negates. I might just switch this out for Master Roshi. I'll be honest. I think Master Roshi's more my speed because it's a 5k I can combo with. I charge this all day. Man, negating is just so boring. I want to fight. The whole point of this game for me is fighting. That's why I don't win anymore. Everyone else negates. I don't. Iskai. This card lets you beat yellow. When they play something on your turn, you just crush them. They have to bottom deck a card, and it's every single card they play. So if they play a blocker, then they play another blocker. It doesn't matter what it is. They just keep losing card advantage. And it's a 1 mana draw card, like perfect for our deck. It's blue. Works for a rival. Another overwhelm we ran was, of course, Mass Saiyan. This is for primarily of yellow. We want to warp as many cards as we can frequently, and they make us discard so many cards from attacking that it's a very good way to, like, re-control the board. Other stuff that's relevant is, of course, super combos, 2-2 split. Zeno is amazing, but Zamasu is really good for aggro, especially when Gogeta players like to attack first with Gogeta and then their leader. Just tap that leader. You then get a free super combo, basically, because now they're missing a card from their hand. So you're getting value, they're losing momentum, and you get out of the attack. Kaba is, of course, built in Awakening. He's kind of lost his power, though. I hate to say it. I thought this card would, like, go up over time for foils. It doesn't feel that good. Like, the fact that he's not a 20k, it actually matters. Like, it's nice that he's not a 15k, so he's better on defense, because leaders can't just kill him. But you really feel the fact that you have to combo to kill stuff. So, not sure how I feel about this. It's still a good blue-yellow card, but it might get the cut. I hate to say it. Kefla, this is our win condition. If you guys don't know what it does, read it. It has every text in the game. It's got energy exhaust, so you can't play it for energy without, of course, playing it tapped. It's got double strike. It's also a blocker. It's got a rival for 3. It gets rid of any battle card with barrier on a rival. Then if you pitch a copy of her, she draws 2 and taps an energy. But if not, she gains dual attack if you just discard a card. So this is very great against yellow. Like I said, you want yellow to go to 1 energy, and on the attack that they have 1 energy, you want to rival this in, get rid of their attacking battle card, and then pass the turn, discard a Kefla, and you win. That's how I beat Jonathan, I think almost game 2, and then he, of course, just outplayed me, so I lost miserably. But that's how I beat other players. Anything else that was relevant? Mechabora's now in the sideboard. Nobody plays Gogeta as much. There's only a few players, so not exciting. Son Goku's just a cantrip. We like him. He draws a card. And then sideboard, most important thing is, didn't side in any of these cards. If you guys can see my sideboard, looks like you can't with the way this is set up. But the only thing that's on here is a Haru Haru. I'm going to click on it so you guys can actually see the image. Haru Haru, man, I love this card. It's an old school, it's a beautiful one, but if your opponent's yellow, which a lot of them are, like Icarus, it lets you steal the game because you can come back from behind, and I did this against the game where I went crazy and went ham against Rios. I was like, Haru Haru, Iskai, Haru Haru, Iskai, Haru Haru, Goku. Tap 4 energy for Majin Buu Unison, swing with leader. So think about how much energy that you've done. Like it creates a different game dynamic. So I really liked it. It's a great card. I don't think anything else on my sideboard I really used. Jiren I never played. Deborah I never got to play against hand control because everyone else has hand control hate now. Fighting against Fate is, of course, main. I bring in Gohan and Piccolo versus Gogeta players because I'd rather tap 1 and get rid of 2 of their cards. But very rarely do they actually just play 2. Like, it's a good situation when they do, because it means they have nothing at that point, and they're just trying to build board presence for later. Supreme Kai, I found out, doesn't work. Fun fact, I thought this would turn off the Gogeta and Vegetas. It doesn't, because it says, Deflect says you're unaffected by counterplays. Well, since the counterplay is part of the skill, and it's not on the auto, Supreme Kai doesn't work. So I had a dead card in my sideboard, so that was lame. So I'll switch that out, assuming they don't hit Soul Striker. But by March, I expect this deck to be done. So don't invest a lot of money in this deck, but you have a month to play it. Like, it's a very solid deck. The only reason it makes me think that they're going to replace it is the next leader, they have another Son Goku in this set. That's the God form. So it's called Super Saiyan God. So it just makes sense to me that they knew they're going to ban it. And then it's a weaker effect. I think it untaps 1. I'd have to check. But I think it untaps 1, but it's the same mechanic. So it just makes sense to me that, like, if they were going to ban it, they were like, we still want a Son Goku Soul Striker, but maybe we'd lower the power. If not, I'm still running this leader. It's stupid, poorly designed from a, like, ability standpoint, especially if they do anything to Icarus. Like, I'm hoping Power of a Super Saiyan gets, like, a limit 1, because it's just annoying. Like, it's good for them, but I just hate yellow. If they do weaken that card, we switch back to red. So I'm super excited because red is not playable because of yellow. So if we get rid of yellow's power a little bit, we go back to playing red. We bring out starter deck Vegeta. Whole new world. But yeah, that's it. Shout out to everybody, like I said, who's been following me on Whatnot. It's been a blast. Today, if you guys are streaming, we got some pre-release leaders, so it'll be some cool stuff on there. And then also, I know a lot of people are getting into, like, silly stuff, what they consider, but I like it. I like the digital stuff, so if you guys have anything that you're interested in, hit me up for collectibles, because it looks like COVID is not changing, so I'm just enjoying the time frame, and picking up some old stuff. Like I said, I picked up some retro cards recently, like the gold paninis and stuff, so it's fun. But I'm looking forward to March, where we actually get to start playing a bunch of games. I was going to switch to my hero, because they were going to have some live events. I was excited for it. I was going to go out to Vegas, but then they immediately canceled having any spots there, so I'm not going to do that. You will see me at Flesh and Blood events, so I'm waiting. February 1st, we get that schedule, and that will determine whether or not I can come to the Fest events. So I'd rather go to a Pro Tour than a Fest event, of course, because 50K is a little bit more than like 3 or 4K, but I'm greedy. Good seeing you guys. Have fun, and let me know what you think of the deck.